Static crackles on the heavy black disc. The needle finds a groove in the dust. Windows propped open to the humid street. Concrete baking in the fading heat. 4 stories up where the laundry hangs. Watching the pigeons in the iron planks. Cassette tape hits on a chrome deck head. Waiting for the signal to be fed. I got a pocket full of loose change and mints. Running from shadows at the sunset tints. The neighbor's radio is bleeding through the wall. Some old saxophone giving its all. The hour is suspended like a hell breath. Moving through the sea in a slow death. Nobody is running to the finish line. Just killing minutes while the stars align. Golden hour haze on the brickwork face. Everything is moving at your lazy pace. Soft focus edges on the afternoon. Humming to a forgotten cartoon tune. Little vibrations in the cooling air. Walking nowhere without a single care. Thick denim jackets and oversized shirts. Ignoring how the pavement friction hurts. Skateboard wheels clicking on the sidewalk cracks. Carrying a world on our hunched up backs. Paperback novels with the pages turned down. Lost in a kingdom in the middle of town. The hour is suspended like a cell breath. Moving through the city in a slow death. Nobody is rushing to the finish line. Just killing minutes while the stars are out. In our haze on a brickwork face. Everything is moving at a lazy pace. Soft focus edges on the afternoon. Humming to a forgotten cartoon coon. Mellow vibrations in the cooling air. Walking nowhere without a single care.
Static crackles on the heavy wood television set. Gray clouds drag their feet across the jagged skyline. I am chasing patterns in the condensation of the pain. The tea has gone cold, but the steam still haunts the air. The smokes dance in the amber glow of a dying lamp.
Oh, cassette tapes tangled in a shoebox by the bed. Hissing sounds of memories that refuse to fade away. The asphalt outside drinks the pouring sky until it turns black. I remember the way the world felt before it got so loud.
Just a steady drumming on the tin roof of the porch.
Falling down like curtains over a stage no one is watching. Wash the grime from the bricks and away from my chest. The dial is stuck between 2 stations and a prayer. Let the water blur the edges of every sharp regret until the morning light forgets the kindness lonely room.
There is a certain peace in knowing nothing stays dry. The concrete breathes a scent of earth and heavy iron. A bicycle leans against a fence with rusted spokes. time slows down to the pace of a single dropping beat, rolling down the glass like a tear that lost its way.
Pull the sweater tight and lean back into the silence. The neighborhood is sleeping under a heavy wool blanket.
No sirens tonight, just a symphony of the downpour. Watching the streetlights flicker through the heavy mist, waiting for the silence to tell me what I need to hear. Falling out like curtains over a stage no one is watching. Wash the grime from the bricks and the weight from my chest. The dial is stuck between two stations and a prayer. Let the water blur the edges of every sharp regret. Until the morning light forgets to find this lonely room. Static hits on the cassette tape deck. The sun leans heavy on the brickwork. Everything moves in a golden haze, slowing down the clock for several days. Just let the heavy dust settle on the floor. Old sneakers hanging from the power line. The shadow of the water tower looks like a sign. Found a nickel in the crack of the concrete. Smell of rain coming down the dead-end street. I'm watching the ceiling fan spin around, tracing every tiny crack that can be found. No messages waiting on the machine tonight. The world is fading out of my line of sight. Static hits on the cassette tape deck. The sun leans heavy on the brickwork. Everything moves in a golden haze, slowing down the clock for several days. Just let the heavy dust settle on the floor. Orange juice sitting in a plastic cup. I am out waiting for the sun to come up. The radio is playing something soft and low. Where the melodies end, I do not really know. Pages of the magazine are curled and yellow. The afternoon is turning soft and mellow. Nothing to do and nowhere I need to be. The solitude is keeping company with me, yeah. Static hits on the cassette tape deck. The sun leans heavy on the brickwork. Everything moves in a golden haze, slowing down the clock for several days. Just let the heavy dust settle on the floor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Daddy comes against the window pane while the radiator sighs in the corner. The sidewalk is damp with yesterday's rain. Found a quarter in the pocket of my sweater. Flipping through pages of a dusty book, watching the clouds drift like slow smoke. Nothing is urgent enough for a second look. The tea is getting cold on the oak. Old sneakers dangling from the power line, tracing the shadows as they stretch across the wall. I've got plenty of nothing and a whole lot of time, waiting for the evening shadows to fall. The cassette tape tracks in hazy swirl, muffled chords ringing through the hallway. A quiet distance from the spinning world.
keeping the heavy thoughts at bay. Slow motion moving through the amber light. The dollar's stuck on a frequency of grace. Safe from the edge of the coming night, folding the moments in a velvet space. No need to hurry, no need to climb, just drifting steady in the golden haze. Counting my pulses of a different time, lost in the comfort of these aimless days. Ceiling fan spins a lazy design, cut in the silence into rhythmic strips. Everything settles in a soft alignment, words unsaid lingering on my lips. The skyline is fading into shades of peach. The neighbors are calling their children home. Everything I need is within my reach. In this sanctuary I call my own. Street lights flicker with a yellow glow, reflecting in the puddles by the gate. Clock on the mantle that's running slow, but it doesn't matter if I'm late. Gravity feels like a gentle hand smoothing the wrinkles in the afternoon. I finally start to understand the simple magic of a quiet room. Slow motion moving through the amber light. The dial is stuck on a frequency of race. Safe from the edge of the coming night, folding the moments in a velvet space. No need to hurry, no need to climb, just drifting steady in the golden haze. Counting the pulses of a different time, lost in the comfort of these aimless days. Of race, safe from the edge of the coming night, folding the moments in a velvet space. No need to hurry, no need to climb, just drifting steady in the golden haze. Counting the pulses of a different time, lost in the comfort of these aimless days. Static hums against the window pane. The teapot whistles in a minor key. Gray skies settle over the boulevard. Dust motes dancing in a single beam. I am flipping through the heavy pages, watching ink dry on a yellow pad. Cassette tape hisses in the deck. Plastic wheels spinning slow and steady. The radiator clicks its metal tongue, keeping time with my tired heartbeat. Forgotten coffee leaves a dark ring on the stack of books I meant to read. Take it easy when the clock stops ticking. Let the silence fill the empty spaces. Where the hours lose their jagged edges, just a quiet hum in the back of the mind. Everything is soft around the corner. Graphite stains upon my thumb. The centerfold paper fills the room. No one is calling on the landline. The world outside is just a photograph. I find the rhythm in the quiet worker, steady pulse beneath the mended skin. Raindrops race down a cold glass, betting on which one will hit the ledge. A neighborhood is tucked under a blanket, street lamps glowing like sunken pearls. There is no hurry for the sunrise, the moonlight is enough to the jagged edges, just a quiet hum in the back of the mind, where everything is soft around the corner. The static is a friend I used to know, a grainy film over the busy day. I am sinking deep into the cushion, listening to the howl, breathe in and out. Let the shadows stretch their long limbs across the floorboards and the dusty rug. Take it easy when the clock stops ticking. Let the silence fill the empty spaces. We are drifting on a velvet ocean, where the hours lose their jagged arches. Just a quiet hum in the back of her mind, everything is soft around the corners. Take it easy when the clock stops ticking. Let the guidance fill the empty spaces. We are drifting on a velvet ocean, where the hours lose their jagged edges. Just a quiet hum in the back of the mind.
Static comes against a window pane. Coffee grounds settle in the porcelain cup. Yesterday still lingers like a heavy stain. The radiator sighs as the sun gives up. I watch the street lights flicker into gold, reading lines from a book I've already told. Yeah. A cassette tape drags its willy feet. Dust motes dancing in a bluish hue. The neighborhood is drifting off to sleep, leaving me with nothing left to do. I find a photograph inside a drawer of a face I don't quite recognize anymore. Yeah. The clouds are gathering the heavy weight across the ceiling where the shadows play. The clock is ticking at a steady rate, chasing all the loose ends of the day, falling down in sheets of gray and white, washing out the edges of the town. Everything is muffled in the night, while the sky is slowly coming down, softly tapping on the rusted tin, letting all the quiet weather in. Television closing black and silver, ghostly figures move across the screen. A cooling breeze begins to make me shiver, somewhere in the spaces in between. I'm listening to the gutters overflow, wondering where the lost vibrations go. The clouds are gathering the heavy weight across the ceiling where the shadows play. The clock is ticking at a steady rate, chasing all the loose ends of the day, falling down in sheets of gray and white, washing out the edges of the town. Everything is muffled in the night, while the sky is slowly coming down, softly tapping on the rusted tin, letting all the quiet weather in. Falling down in sheets of gray and white, washing out the edges of the town. Everything is muffled in the night, while the sky is slowly coming down.
colors in a velvet hazy dream. Thick dust dancing in a pillar of the sun. Take deck spin until the afternoon is done. Coffee cooling on the stack of folded scenes. Living somewhere in the spaces in between. Golden hours drifting past the window pane. Gentle patterns etched by shadows of the rain. Slow down the motion, let the feeling settle deep. Secrets that the heavy summer air will keep. Floating on the texture of a rainy day. Watching all the hurried moments fade away. Canvas sneakers dragging on the cracked cement. Finding meaning in the way the time was spent. Indigo horizon blending with the street. Heavy denim in the pavement, breathing heat. Crinkle of the paper as the record turns. Quiet embers where the weary spirit burns. Everything is softened at the jagged edge. Looking out across the mossy garden ledge. Nothing left to prove and nowhere left to go. Moving with the current as the waters flow. Then hours drifting past the window pane. Gentle patterns etched by shadows of the rain. Slow down the motion, let the feeling settle deep. Secrets that the heavy summer air will keep. Floating on the texture of a rainy day. Watching all the flurried moments fade away.
Static comes on the cassette deck spinning slow. Dusty sunlight filtering through the Venetian blinds. The smell of rain on asphalt outside the window. Coffee cooling in a mug with chipped edges. Staring at the ceiling fans rotating in circles. While the dial sits caught between two different stations. Take a breath and let the low fidelity wash over. No need to hurry when the clock is ticking backwards. Just floating on a sea of warm tape saturation. Headphones on and the world starts to disappear. Soft color bleeding into 1,000 gray shadows. Moving at the speed of a Sunday afternoon. Take a breath and let the low fidelity wash over. No need to hurry when the clock is ticking backwards. Just floating on a sea of one tape saturation. Headphones on, the world starts to disappear. Soft colors bleeding into 1,000 gray shadows. Moving at the speed of a Sunday afternoon. Oversized sweaters in the weight of old denim. Found a Polaroid tucked inside a used paperback. The colors are fading but the feeling stays heavy. Walking down the hallway in wool socks and silence. Tracing the patterns of the wood grain on the floor. Lost in the crackle of a memory being played back. Take a breath and let the low fidelity wash over. No need to hurry when the clock is ticking backwards. Just floating on a sea of warm tape sat congratulations. Headphones on, and the world starts to disappear. Soft colors bleeding into 1,000 gray shadows, moving at the speed of a Sunday afternoon.
Static comes through the worn-out tape. Dusty sunlight to fire escape. A stack of books and a lukewarm tea. Fading memories of who I used to be. Ink is drying on a legal pad. Chasing visions that I never had. Pen moves slow like a heavy dream. Drifting quiet down a steady stream. Low light shining on the midnight floor. Waiting for the knocking at the door. Grainy shadows on the bedroom wall. Watching all the heavy seasons fall. Keep the spinning record in the groove. Waiting for the spirit just to move. Soft horizons in a frame of gold. Stories that the morning never told. Cassette clicking as the wheel turns round. Lost inside a muffled city sound. Raindrops hitting on the window pane. Washing out the worry and the stain. Old clock ticking on a wooden shelf. Talking secrets to my younger self. Midnight coffee in a ceramic cup. Never wanting just to wake it up. Distance growing in the silent air. Counting every breath and every stare. Weight of mountains in a single grain. Peace found hidden in a gentle ray. Low light shining on the midnight floor. Waiting for the knocking at the door. Grainy shadows on the bedroom wall. Watching all the heavy seasons fall. Keep the spinning record in the groove. Waiting for the spirit just to lose. Soft horizons in a frame of gold. Stories that the morning never told. Shadows on the bedroom wall. Watching all the heavy seasons fall. Keep the spinning record in the groove. Waiting for the spirit just to muse. Soft horizons in a frame of foes. Stories that the morning never told.
Gray clouds lean against the window pane, while dusty ink begins to fill the lines. I watch the heavy drops dissolve the stain of all the cluttered thoughts within my mind. The graphite marks a path across the page, beneath the dim light of a crooked lamp. A quiet bird inside a wooden cage, waiting for the air to lose its damp. My coffee turned to cold an hour ago. The steam has vanished like a passing ghost. The water patterns trace a path below, along the edges of the northern coast. I turn the paper and the spine will creak against the steady tapping on the roof. The answers that I came out here to seek remain inside, the shadows thin and aloof. Let the downpour wash the heavy hours away, while the ink is drying on me ancient wood. There is nothing left for me to try and say, except the things I finally understood. The sky is pouring down the sheets of lead to drown the noise that gathered in the hall. With every single word that I have read, I watch this silver liquid start to fall. Let the downpour wash the heavy hours away, while the ink is drying on the ancient wood. There is nothing left for me to try and say, except the things I finally understood. The sky is pouring down the sheets of lead to drown the noise that gathered in the hall. With every single word that I have read, I watch the silver liquid start to fall. The clock is ticking, but the hands are still locked inside a moment made of stone. I've climbed the summit of this paper hill and found a kingdom I can rule alone. The thunder mumbles like a distant train passing through a town I used to know. The only thing that matters is the rain and watching how the dark reflections grow. I fold the corner of the final sheet. The lamp begins to flicker and turn pale. I hear the rushing water on the street, a lonely ship without a mast or sail. My weary eyes are drifting toward the door, but there is nowhere else I need to be. The books are scattered on the attic floor like driftwood washed up from a stormy sea. The rhythm of a storm is slowing down to match the steady beating of my heart. The lights are fading in the hollow town as every solid structure falls apart. I hold the pen until my fingers ache and listen to the gutters overflow. For every single promise that I break, 1,000 more are waiting in the snow. Let the downpour wash the heavy hours away, while the ink is drying on the ancient wood. There is nothing left for me to try and say, except the things I finally understood. The sky is pouring down in sheets of lead to drown the noise that gathered in the hall. With every single word that I have read, I watch the silver liquid start to fall. Let the downpour wash the heavy hours away, while the ink is drying on the ancient wood. There is nothing left for me to try and say, except the things I finally understood. The sky is pouring down in sheets of lead to drown the noise that gathered in the hall. With every single word that I have read, I watch the silver liquid start to fall. The morning paper rests upon the rustic gate. Static comes from the box where we used to wait. Dust spikes dancing in a strip of yellow light. Everything is moving slow but feeling right. The kettle whistles like a distant passing train, drawing patterns on the fogged up window pane. Cassette tape tangled in a mess of glossy brown. I walk the sidewalk of the sleepy coastal town. Denim jackets faded by the salt and summer breeze, watching shadows stretch beneath the maple trees. No one is calling on the wire or the screen, just the quiet moments living in between. Take the long way home while the colors turn to gold. Keep the stories that the elders never told. Hold the silence like a secret in your hand, walking steady on the shifting grains of sand. Let the minutes melt away like mountain snow, where the heavy river tides begin to flow. Old sneakers clicking on the pavement and the brick, clockwork ticking with the steady wooden click. Thrift store sweaters with the threads coming loose, sipping on a bottle of some bitter cherry juice. The corner grocery has its shutters halfway down, painting outlines of the sunset on the town. Graffiti faded on the brickwork of the mall, skateboard wheels scratching music on the wall. Found a nickel in the pocket of my coat, reading every single word that you once wrote. The air is cooling as the daylight fades away, ending another ordinary day. Take the long way home while the colors turn to gold. Keep the stories that the elders never told. Hold the silence like a secret in your hand, walking steady on the shifting grains of sand. Let the minutes melt away like melting snow, where the heavy river tides begin to flow. Maybe the answers aren't as far as they appear. Maybe the clarity is finally getting near, beyond the reaching of the noisy city crowd, under the silver lining of a heavy cloud. We are just drifting in the middle of the sea, learning exactly who we are supposed to be. Take the one way home while the colors turn to gold. Keep the stories that the elders ever told. Hold the silence like a secret in your hand, walking steady on the shifting grains of sand. Let the minutes melt away like mountain snow, where the heavy river tides begin to flow. Take the long way home while the colors turn to gold. Keep the stories that the elders never told. Hold the silence like a secret in your hand, walking steady on the shifting grains of sand. Let the minutes melt away like mountain snow, where the heavy river tides begin to flow. The radiator hums a dusty low-frequency tune, while twilight shadows stretch across my messy room. I shuffle through these worn-out yellow Polaroids, searching for a feeling that the silence avoids. Old cassettes are tangled in a plastic heap, keeping all the secrets that I meant to keep. The coffee has gone cold inside the ceramic cup. I keep looking down, never glancing up. The ink begins to bleed through the thin blue lines, tracing every thought that my heavy head defines. Static in the background of a quiet afternoon, counting every crater on the surface of the moon, waiting for the clock to strike a different hour, watching as the city loses all its hidden power. Nothing moves too fast in this grainy frame of mind, leaving every heavy burden somewhere far behind. Graphite stains the side of my resting weary hand, building tiny castles out of gray and shifting sand. Windows slightly open just to let the breeze flow in, touching every surface where the memories begin. There is no ambition, just a steady pulse of calm, holding on to nothing in the hollow of my palm. The light begins to fade into a deeper shade of gold. Stories of these textbooks remain largely untold. Everything is blurred like a photo out of focus, lost inside a daydream like a sudden hocus pocus. Static in the background of a quiet afternoon, counting every crater on the surface of the moon, waiting for the clock to strike a different hour, watching as the city loses all its hidden power. Nothing moves too fast in this grainy frame of mind, leaving heavy, heavy burden somewhere far behind. Static in the background of a quiet afternoon, counting every crater on the surface of the moon, waiting for the clock to strike a different hour, watching as the city loses all its hidden power. Nothing moves too fast in this grainy frame of mind, leaving every heavy burden somewhere far behind.
The radiator hums a dusty low-frequency tune, while shadows stretch across the wooden floor. I watch the golden dust motes dance in the late light, turning pages of a heavy book I have read before. My coffee cup is cold, but I don't seem to mind. The city outside is just a blur beyond the glass. Old cassette tape stacked like a jagged skyline. The scent of rainy asphalt drifts through the screen. I am drifting between the lines of a complex theory, trying to find where the silence ends and thoughts begin. The clock on the wall has lost its sense of urgency, moving slower than the ink drying on my palm. Stay within the margins of this quiet afternoon. Let the heavy weight of the world weigh at the gate. Every breath is a deliberate note in a soft melody. We are building a sanctuary out of simple gravity, holding on to the stillness before the stars arrive. Everything is balanced on the edge of the side. There is a specific kind of peace in a repetition. The way the pencil lead wears down to your dull point. The way the mind wanders then finds its way home. No need for a map when the destination is right here. Just a steady pulse in the mirror of the quiet. Rain starts to tap a gentle rhythm on the rooftop, cooling down the bricks that soaked up the sun. I pull my sweater tighter and settle into the chair. The blue ink flows like a river across the white, mapping out the secrets of a tired young heart. Learning how to be comfortable in the gray space dress. The lamp flickers once, then settles into a warm glow, casting long amber ghosts against the ceiling. I am finally understanding what they often meant. It is not about the answers, but the way we ask. A window frames a picture of a world moving on. But inside this room, the moments belong to me. Stay within the margins of this quiet afternoon. Let the heavy weight of the world weigh at the gate. Every breath is a deliberate note in a soft melody. We are building a sanctuary out of simple gravity, holding on to the stillness before the stars arrive. Everything is balanced on the edge of the side.
Dusty tone, static crackling in the afternoon. I watch the shadow crawl across the floor between the peeling paint and heavy door. The cassette tape is winding slow and tight, while gold dust dances in the fading light. Nothing's moving but the second hand across some map of some forgotten land. A dial turns to catch a distant frequency between the silence and the secrecy. The smell of rain on sun-baked seed bricks. All old film cameras capture sudden clicks. I found a letter stuck behind a shelf, written by a younger version of myself. The ink is faded to a ghostly gray from decades that just melted right away. Hold the stillness in a coffee cup, watch the hazy evening filling up. The world is spinning in a velvet groove with nowhere left that we've got to move. Just a steady pulse of a yacht, the heavy lifting of a rising fall. Every feet soft around the edge. Life is balanced on a window ledge. The television glows in black and white before the colors claim the coming night. A pair of sneakers hanging from the wire above the street lights flickering like fire. We used to wait for songs to play on air with tangled headphones and uncombed hair. The pavement breathes a heavy sort of heat beneath the rhythm of the passing feet. A bowl of cereal at 3 a.m. The reaches for its hand. The fridge is buzzing like a tired bee. The midnight news is lost at sea. I'm tracing patterns on the kitchen tile and staying in this corner for a while. The city's pulse is muffled by the wall until the shadows start to look so tall. Hold the stillness in a coffee cup. Watch the hazy evening filling up. The world is spinning in a ballet groove with nowhere left that we've got to move. Just the steady pulse of analog, the heavy listing of a rising fog. Everything is soft around the edge. Life is balanced on a window ledge. The rewind button makes a hollow sound. The lost and found are finally being found. We don't need the clarity, us glad to watch the seasons and the minutes pass. There's a comfort in the blurry view, in the old ways that are feeling new. Keep the tempo steady, keep it low. There's a secret that the lonely know. Hold the stillness in the coffee cup. Watch the phase evening filling up. The world is spinning in a velvet groove with nowhere left that we have right to move. Just the steady pulse of analog, the curtain lifting off a rising fog. Everything is soft around the edge, balanced on a window ledge.
The radiator hums a dusty tune, static crackling in the afternoon. Faded ink upon a college pad, chasing visions that I never had. Old sneakers kicked across the floor, a gentle draft beneath the wooden door. The scent of rainy asphalt on the breeze, resting heavy on the silent trees. Cassette tape spinning in a plastic case, finding solace in the slower pace. Yellow highlighter across the page, acting older than my tender age. The ceiling fan rotates with a sigh, watching clouds dissolve across the sky. A ceramic mug stain a deeper brown, while the traffic whispers through the town. The hour hand is moving like a dream, floating downward on a steady stream. I leave the heavy world behind the gate, learning how to breathe and how to wait. Golden shadows stretch against the wall, waiting for the evening light to fall. Every little thought begins to settle deep before the weary city goes to sleep. Just a quiet corner in my mind, leaving all the frantic days behind. Nothing left to prove and nothing left to say, watching all the hours drift away. Polaroid tucked inside a heavy book, giving memory a second look. Baggy sweaters keeping up the chill, while the busy world is standing still. Pencils sharpened to a perfect point, resting joints within this hollow joint. A lonely kettle whistles on the stove, deep inside this solitary cove. The grainy texture of the evening air, running fingers through my messy hair. Counting shadows on the window pane, listen to the rhythm of the rain. Midnight till it's bleeding through the white, welcome mingle soft and steady night. No more puzzles left for me to solve, watching all my worries now dissolve. The hour end is moving like a dream, floating downward on a steady stream. I leave the heavy world behind the gate, learning how to breathe and how to wait. Golden shadows stretch against the wall, waiting for the evening light to fall. Every little thought begins to settle deep before the weary city goes to sleep. Just a quiet corner in the mind, leaving all the frantic days behind. Nothing left to prove and nothing left to say, watching all the hours drift away. The radiator hums a dusty tune. Static crackles in the afternoon. Coffee rings on wood from long ago, moving at a pace that feels so slow. Cassette tapes piled up on the floor. I don't need much of anything anymore, just the scratch of lead across the page, finding quiet in this restless age. Golden shadows stretch across the wall, watching as the summer leaves start to fall. Nothing's pressing on the clock tonight, bathed in soft and yellow kitchen light. Simple thoughts are drifting in the air. I can find a sanctuary there. Let the world keep spinning fast outside. I have found a peaceful place to hide. Grainy memories in a faded frame. Every day starts looking much the same. Window open just an inch or two, seeing life from such a steady view. No one calling on the rotary phone. I am perfectly content alone. Graph papers filled with lines of ink, taking all the time I need to think. The sweater that I wear is worn and thin, letting all the calm come settling in. Traffic sounds like waves from blocks away, ending of another honest day. Headphones on to keep the silence near. Everything I need is right in here. Golden shadows stretch across the wall, watching as the summer leaves start to fall. Nothing's pressing on the clock tonight, bathed in soft and yellow kitchen light. Simple thoughts are drifting in the air. I can find a sanctuary there. Let the world keep spinning fast outside. I have found a peaceful place to hide. The radiator hums a low frequency. Dust motes dancing in the cold and late afternoon. Open notebooks filled with scratched out lines. Coffee rings on the desk like ancient maps, counting the seconds between the heavy clock ticks. Your sweater feels like a shield against the rush. Nothing moves outside the window frame, just a steady breath of a quiet room. Staring at the ink until the letters start to blur. Found a solace in the silence of the mundane. Hold the thought before it slips away forever. Tracing patterns on a page that knows my name. Gravity is pulling softly on my shoulders. Let the heavy air just settle where it lies. There's nowhere else that I would rather wander than the corners of a mind under these skies. windows or stashed between the spines of weary books. I am not searching for a revelation, just a way to keep the focus while it cooks. Strip away the noise to find the center, a steady pulse beneath the flannel sleeve. Watching how the daylight starts to mellow, finding something honest to believe. Old sneakers caked across the wooden floor, a cassette tape is where the melody begins. The smell of rain is coming through the screen. Wash away the static when the spirit thins. Write a sentence then erase it with a sigh. Building bridges out of logic and some glue. The world is spinning but the axis is right here, in a corner of a life that feels brand new. The evening stretches out its velvet finger, cooling down the fever of the day. Every little worry starts to lighten, floating like a feather far away. Staring at the ink until the letters start to blur. Found a solace in the silence of the mundane. Hold the thought before it slips away forever. Tracing patterns on a page that knows my name. Gravity is pulling softly on my shoulders. Let the heavy edges settle where it lies. There is nowhere else that I would rather wander. In the corners of a mind under these skies. Start to blur, ground a solace in the silence of the mundane. Hold the thought before it slips away forever. Tracing patterns on a page that knows my name. Gravity is pulling softly on my shoulders. Let the heavy edges settle where it lies. There's nowhere else that I could rather wander than the corners of a mind under these skies.
Street lamp glows like a drowning amber eye, while gray clouds weave a heavy curtain across the sky. The ink begins to bleed upon the open page, a quiet sanctuary far from the center stage. My coffee cools beneath a crown of fading steam. The window pane is weeping in a steady stream. I turn the dial to hear the hum of hollow wires, and watch the shadows dance like cold and ghostly fires. Let the water wash the ticking of the clock away, the heavy dust of everything we had to say. The sky is falling softly on the copper roof, while I am searching for a hidden spark of proof. In the hollow spaces where the silence grows, where the river of the city finally stows. 1,000 letters gathered in a wooden drawer, the phantom footsteps pacing on the upper floor. The textbook spine is cracked and wearing thin. I lose the place where all the tangled thoughts begin. The heavy scent of damp and ancient paving stones is seeping through the marrow of my tired bones. I chase the logic through a labyrinth of blue, until the morning light breaks everything in two. Let the wire wash the ticking of the clock away, the heavy dust of everything we had to say. The sky is falling softly on the copper roof, while I am searching for a hidden spark of proof. In the hollow spaces where the silence rolls, where the river of the city finally slows. The static on the radio is humming low and deep, a promise that the restless mind is meant to keep. Forget the gold and silver of the busy street. droplet landing on the iron sill, until the spinning world is standing perfectly still. Let the water wash the taking of the heart away, the heavy dust of everything we had to say. The sky is falling softly on the carpet roof, while I am searching for a hidden spark or groove in the hollow spaces where the silent froze. There the river of the city finally slows.
The window pane is blurred with droplets falling slow. The ink upon the paper finds a steady place to flow. A cup of tea sits cooling while the steam begins to curl. I shut the heavy door against the chaos of the world. The shadows on the ceiling trace a pattern soft and gray. The worries of the morning start to gently drift away. A distant car is flashing through a puddle down the street. The ticking of the clock provides a pulse that stays discreet. The pages turn like whispers as the chapters unfold deep. The city finds the silence while the restless neighbors sleep. My pen is moving lightly, carving paths across the white, guided by the lantern and the comfort of the night. The rhythm on the rooftop is a language I can read, providing every ounce of focus that I truly need. The air is thick with petrichor and memories of old. The story starts to glimmer in a shimmer of the cold. Raindrops hitting glass in a steady silver stream, losing track of hours in a waking sort of dream. The logic and the magic kind of way to intertwine. Everything is peaceful and the clarity is mine. The water washes over every corner of my mind, leaving all the heavy tangled burdens far behind. Recalls the weight of every thought I try to tame. The clouds are shifting shapes but they're remaining just the same. I lean into the stillness, let the cool breeze brush my face, moving through the lesson at a solitary pace. The dampness on the brickwork brings a calm into the room, dispel me any lingering of the winter or the gloom. The rhythm on the rooftop is a language I can read, providing every ounce of focus that I truly need. The air is thick with petrichor and memories afloat. The story starts to glimmer in a shimmer of the gold. Raindrops hitting gas in a steady silver stream, losing track of hours in a waking sort of dream. The logic and the magic kind of way to intertwine. They became the peaceful and the clarity is mine. The water washes over every corner of my mind, leaving all the heavy tangled burdens far behind. Raindrops hitting glass in a steady silver stream, losing track of hours in a waking sort of dream. The logic and the magic find a way to intertwine. Everything made peaceful and the clarity is mine. The water washes over every corner of my mind, leaving all the heavy tangled burdens far behind.
Yesterday's dust settles on the windowsill. Coffee in the mug stays perfectly still. The needle finds a groove in the spinning blood, searching for the feeling that we can't take back. Counting every shadow on the hardwood floor, waiting for a knock on the heavy oak door. Static on the wire like a distant hum, wondering if the better days are yet to come. Concrete garden where the ivy starts to climb, moving through the seconds of a borrowed time. Clouds are moving heavy in a velvet gray, watching all the people as they drift away. Old cassettes tangled in the plastic gears. Memory is ringing in my tired ears. Sifting through the boxes in the attic light, fading into shades of the coming night. Sweet gold nectar and a paper cup, looking at the ceiling as the sun goes up. Lazy spinner ceiling fan above the bed, running through the stories that we never said. Soft low humming from the radio, thinking of the places that we used to know. Gentle as the water on a river stone, finding comfort being in the room alone. Sweet gold nectar in a paper cup, looking at the ceiling as the sun goes up. Lazy spinning ceiling fan above the bed, running through the stories that we never said. Soft low humming from the radio, thinking of the places that we used to know. Gentle as the water on a river stone, finding comfort being in the room alone. Keys are on the table by the empty bowl, searching for the rhythm of a quiet soul. Pigeons on the railing of the fire escape, every single memory takes a different shape. Walking down the hallway in my woolen socks, ignoring all the ticking of the middle clocks. Writing on a napkin with a broken pen, telling myself stories of the way it was then. Blue ink bleeding on my wrinkled page, bird is looking silent from the silver cage. Rain begins to patter on the window pane, washing out the color of the gravel lane. Setting down the burden of the heavy day, layering all the worries simply melt away. Turning off the lamp like a velvet chair, feeling how the stillness fills the evening air. Sweet gold nectar in a paper cup, looking at the ceiling as the sun gives up. Lazy spinny ceiling fan above the bed, running through the stories that we never said. Soft flow humming from the radio, thinking of the places that we used to know. Gentle as the water on a river stone, finding comfort being in the room alone. Sweet gold nectar in a paper cup, looking at the ceiling as the sun goes up. Lazy spin the ceiling fan above the bed, running through the stories that we never said. Soft flow humming from the radio, thinking of the places that we used to know. Gentle as the water on a river stone, finding comfort being in the room alone. Finding comfort being in the room alone. Gray clouds settle low above the heavy chimney tops. I watch the rhythmic patterns formed by falling drops. The ink begins to bleed across the paper in the tray, tracing all the hours that I gave to yesterday. Books are piled like towers on the edge of my old desk. Shadows on the ceiling make a jacket grotesque. White settles in the corners where the dust remains. I find a steady solace in the tapping on the pane. The radiator owns a tune and no one needs to know. Steam upon the window makes the garden blurry slow. I am wrestling with logic in the weight of ancient lines, searching for the meaning in the tangle of the vines. Coffee's getting colder in the ceramic cup I hold. Stories in the margins are the ones that don't get told. Every single sentence is a bridge across the night, stretching through the silence till they're coming off the light. Let the water wash the fever from the tired, dusty mind. Leave the noisy city and the traffic gates behind. There is wisdom in this passion on the empty hollow street, in the steady measure of a soft and damp retreat. Let the world go turning while I linger in the pause, seeking out the effect while I'm hiding from the cause. Underneath the ceiling where the softest silver falls, finding all the answers written on the kitchen wall. The clock is just a ghost beneath the floor. I don't look for exits or the handle on the door. My pen is moving slower as the sky turns deeper blue, cutting through the layers trying to find a path that's true. History is heavy but the air is feeling light, softened by the mist that takes away the edge of sight. Memories are drifting like the vapor in my hall, waiting for a motion or a reason just to crawl. The stillness has a melody that rings inside the bone, the symphony of solitude when sitting all alone. No more chasing shadows or the ghosts of what was said, just a piece of clarity that's blooming in my head. Let the water wash the feeling from the tired, dusty mind. Leave the noisy city and the frantic pace behind. There is wisdom in the splashing on the empty olive tree, in the steady measure of the soft and damper tree. Let the world go turning while I linger in the pause, seeking out the effect while I'm hiding from the cause. Underneath the ceiling where the softest silver falls, finding all the answers written on the kitchen wall. Let the water wash the fever from the tired, dusty mind. Leave the noisy city and the frantic pace behind. There is wisdom in the splashing on the empty hollow tree, in the steady measure of the soft and amber tree. Let the world go turning while I linger in the pause, seeking out the effect while I'm hiding from the cause. Underneath the ceiling where the softest silver falls, finding all the answers written on the kitchen wall.
Cassette tape stack against a dusty wall, static coming through the wire in the hall. Rain begins to patter on the window frame, writing down a list of goals without a name. Ink is drying slowly on the open page. Coffee steam is rising like a quiet stage. Faded denim jacket on a wooden chair. Cooling breezes moving through the heavy air. The city outside is a blur of weird light. Keep the lamp low while the sun leaves the sight. Ticking of the clock is the only sound found, keeping my feet steady on the solid ground. Low fidelity dreams in a simplified state. Watch the day dissolve and accept the late fate. Low fidelity dreams in a simplified state. Let the heavy moments lose all of their weight. Stretching longer on the bedroom floor, leaving all the worries by the bedroom door. Crackle in the speaker like a secret spark, finding all the comfort in the coming park. The city outside is a blur of gray light. Keep the lamp low while the sun leaves the sight. Ticking of the clock is the only sound found, keeping my feet steady on the solid ground. Low fidelity dream in a simplified state. Watch the day dissolve and accept the late fate. Low fidelity dream in a simplified state. Let the heavy moments use all of their weight. Dreams in a simplified state. Watch the day dissolve and accept the late fate. Low fidelity dreams in a simplified state. Let the heavy moments lose all of their weight. Old cassette tapes tangled in the drawer, dust settling on the polished wooden floor. The radiator hums a steady low tune, watching shadows stretch across the room. Static crackles on the midnight dial. I haven't felt this peaceful in a while. Coffee stains like maps upon the page, turning leaves will come of any age. Golden light filters through the Venetian blinds, leaving all the heavy thoughts behind. The neighborhood is sleeping in the blue, searching for a feeling that feels true. Sneakers hanging from the power line, tracing patterns in a slow design. The world moves fast, but here we stay still, waiting on the sun behind the hill. Take it slow, let the minutes drift away. Yesterday is just a ghost in gray. We are floating on a gentle summer tide, with nowhere left to run and nowhere to hide. Just a crackle of a record in the dark, leaving behind every heavy spark. Comfort in the way silence feels, turning through the slow and steady wheel. Grainy memories in a faded frame, no one left to call out any name. The city glow is just a distant blur, everything is softer than it were. Hold the moment till it turns to sin, sifting through the lines within my hand. Street lights flickering like tired eyes, underneath the vast and velvet skies. Raindrops tapping on a window pane, washing out the worry and the stain. Put the needle down and let it glide, there is nothing left to push aside. Just a simple melody to keep before we drift away into our sleep. Take it slow, let the minutes drift away. Yesterday is just a ghost in gray. We are floating on a gentle summer tide, with nowhere left to run and nowhere to hide. Just the crackle of a record in the dark, leaving behind every heavy spark. Comfort in the way the silence feels, turning through the slow and steady wheels.
Cassette tapes tangled in the plastic shell, dust motes dancing where the golden sunlight fell. Static crackles like a fire in the living room. Watch your shadow stretch across the afternoon. Found $1 in the pocket of my baggy jeans, thinking back to what a simpler living means. No one calling on the screen to pull me away, just the silence of a slow and hazy day. Sidewalk cracks hiding secrets of the neighborhood, wood smoke rising from the places where we stood. Loose leaf paper filled with ink that started to fade, counting hours in the cool of the willow shade. Vinyl spinning on a deck that skips a beat, feeling pavement radiating summer heat. Every window open wide to catch the breeze, life moving at the pace of swaying trees. Take it back to the groove of the analog soul, let the world spin around while we lose control. In the hum of the city and the pulse of the street, where the dreams and the weary memories meet. Golden hours melting into purple and blue, with nothing left for us to prove or to do. Just a steady vibration in the back of the mind, leaving all the heavy worries behind. Graffiti colors blooming on the brick and stone, a secret frequency we claimed as our own. Walkman batteries dying in the middle of a song, walking blocks until we knew where we belong. Low and thumping through a speaker in the park, waiting for the stars to flicker through the dark. Knew the trumpet playing soft from a distant floor, leaning back against the heavy wooden door. Ice cubes clinking in a glass of lemon tea. Watching how the world was meant to be. No high definition, just a grainy point of view. Everything is worn out, yet entirely new. Skateboard wheels clicking on the concrete tiles, measured in the distance in the easy miles. Dirt stove lino hanging loose across the frame. Back when they didn't have to give it a name. The twilight lingers on the edge of the sky, watching all the frantic moments pass by. Gentle waves of sound are washing the shore. We don't need to chase the ghost anymore. Take it back to the groove of the analog soul. Let go of spin around while we lose control. In the hum of the city and the pulse of the street, where the dreams and the eerie memories meet. Golden hour to melting into purple and blue, with nothing left for us to prove or to do. Just a steady vibration in the back of the mind, leaving all the heavy worries behind.